Hello and welcome to another edition of the Turf from Dove Television. Alright, if it's your first time tuning in on this program, this is your Christian political talk show. Some prefer to call it Christian political program. Either way, you are not wrong. My name is David Ayodeji Kasali, and I'm most privileged to be your host on another edition on the Turf, coming to you from the stables of the Dove Television. On today's edition, and before I go into everything that we have on the top today, may I quickly, for the benefit of those who are seeing us for the very first time, that this program is designed to enlighten, to embolden, and engage you in the political atmosphere, to be able to understand the things that are happening in governance, and to be able to make your own contributions, understand the leadership and the responsibility of followers alike. That is what this program is about. And if you have the calling of God over your life to serve, to be in government, to be in administration, to let the grace of God in your life speak for the welfare of the people. This program is designed for you to also understand where you fit and how to make that journey to that picture of the future that you've been carrying all along. On today's edition of the Turf, quickly, we have the topic segment, which of course is being dissected by some of our guests who are well read and who are specialized in one area of service to another, dependent. And of course, the last, which is the second segment on this show, is what we call our discussion segment. On our discussion segment, we bring our in-house analyst and of course an external analyst to look at some of these subjects that I want to talk about and to profile not just life-changing contributions, but also practical enough for the present government or anybody charged with the responsibility to adopt in their policies. On today's edition of The Turf, we're going to be considering, when we come back for that topic and our guest segment, we're going to be considering exemplary leadership through community service. Exemplary leadership through community service. We have so many communities in this part of the world, and Nigeria is so blessed and is densely populated. We want to understand what the people at the community level, what they desire, and what they are looking forward from the government to do for them. And of course, we also want to look at the perspective of the government in such that we have a balanced discussion. And of course, on our discussion segment, we shall be dissecting the issue and understanding the boundaries. We call that the boundaries, followers' boundaries in governance. Followers' boundaries in governance. You need to understand, as much as we are contributing to the present government, and what are the boundaries, where and when and what will amount to interference or breach of our right to contribution or to even be part of the present government. And these two segments, I'm saying cross your fingers, because we have a lot loaded for us today by the special grace of Almighty God. Please do not forget, we have the platform for you, of course, to make your contributions and your questions and towards any part of this program. And that you can do with the Turf Show on Facebook, the Turf Show on Instagram, and of course the same thing on the Twitter. All right, and if you want to send your personal request, you want to make enquiries, or you want to send also your private contributions, you can send that to the Turf Team 2019 at gmail.com. And all these addresses are made available for you right here on the screen, as you can see them. And of course, we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, I'm going to be introducing my guest to you, and of course, we are going to be discussing intensely about exemplary leadership through community service. Don't go anywhere and don't change the channel. All right, and yes, you're welcome yet again to another edition of The Turf. For those who are just joining us, yes, this is our topic segment where we dissect a topic and of course get an insight and direction to how to make things better. My name is David Ayodeji Kasali, but I'm not alone on the show. I am privileged to be your host on this show. But I have with me the analyst in the house and leadership specialist. I'm talking about no other than our in-house father, an analyst, Dr. GMO Ekundayo. Doctor, you're welcome to another edition of The Turf.
Thank you, David.
You're looking smart, sir.
Thank you. And our esteemed viewers, we appreciate you. Keep on following us.
Yeah,
we are
thank
going
you.
somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are indeed going somewhere. And thank you for following us. We really are saying a big thank you. On this segment, we are going to be looking at a topic. And I have a guest who has been looking into something that's been lacking in our community. And she's taken a step further to do something about it. And of course, she stepped out to say, you know what, I am going to ensure that kids who are not going to school or those who have dropped out of school are restored back and get the very big gift, and which is the gift of enlightenment, education of the mind. And she's taken upon herself, she's founded this organization called Straight to School. And for a while now, I think it's been going to over 10 years now. And eventually it's translated to a nursery and primary school in the local government. She's going to tell us more about herself and of course about our community service. But on this segment, we're going to be looking at the topic, exemplary leadership through community service. Exemplary leadership through community service. And seated right here in the studio with us is no other than Mrs. Tosin Taiwo, the founder, Straight to School. Ms. Tosin Taiwo, you're welcome to the talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's so nice to have you with us today.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if I did justice to the introduction, but I will just go straight to the first question I'm going to be asking you.
Okay.
How long has Straight to School been? What prompted the community service?
Maybe first of all,
Yes,
sorry
sir.
to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
Maybe she should tell us a little bit of our background, you know, a little bit. Then before, what actually prompted into getting involved in Straight to School.
I actually studied computer science at the University of Lagos. So before NYC, I already got a job with a software company.
Oh.
So I was into database programming and all of that. But when I went for service, I happened to serve in a community that I experienced what young people were going through. Oh. And so instead of folding my hands, I felt I could impact my immediate community. So that was how I, just
Got
left computing into the community service and trying to impact the community. Wow. So that was in 2006, 2007. So I was able to rally around, ensured that young people in secondary schools were mentored, ensured that those that do not have mobility aid appliances, those that are physically challenged, I was able to, by God's grace, able to raise funding to get them all of this equipment so that life will be at least fair. And we're able to do all of this, and eventually it came with the NYC award. Yes, the state award in 2007.
You were serving that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that was when, that was actually the genesis of, of myself in the, social sector world. And it has been so difficult to look back ever since. It's became part of me such that, venturing into computing and programming is a bit difficult now because I'm more concerned about is that child dead eating? How is the child next door faring? Are they in school? What is happening? So it's been that way.
So give or take, how many years now?
Yeah, since 2007, and that is 12 years.
Wow. For 12 years, you've been doing community service.
Yes.
Doctor, sir?
Well, I would just say, something prompted you. You saw, the state of children, some of them out of school, and even those who are in school, the challenges they face. Was it because of your own background? Did you struggle through school, or you didn't struggle? Because some people believe it's when you tasted poverty, then
yes,
you'll be concerned about
no, but let's have your own story a little bit there.
I actually grew up with a mom that she so much placed, high value on education, but she didn't have the opportunity
to go to school.
So it's something that, even till today, although she was able to meet up, but it wasn't, you having a parent to sponsor you all through your education, primary education. And she used to be one of the brilliant, kids in school. So in basic 4, she had to stop because there was no funding. So Mama will always tell us the importance of education, and she ensured that every one of our children went to school.
Yes.
Whatever it was going to cost her, she was ready to give.
Just make sure.
And she would tell us about the disadvantages of losing out, from getting learned. So when I see young people, I don't want them to have the kind of regrets, that my mom, that my mom is having. So when I see little ones, I was like, no, how is the future going to be for them? So I try to, support the the little I can do to ensure that they don't regret later in life. They can, be given equal opportunity like every other child out there.
Okay, I think looking from that perspective, one could say that she understood what we are researching today, which is human capacity.
Yes.
Building human capacity, which is leading me to my next question to you before Doctor asks you further questions. Now, from your years of experience on the field in community service, I want to ask you, because we are looking at exemplary leadership through community service, do you think that the leaders of this great nation understood very well the needs of the people at the community level? I mean, you saw, the aspect you saw is the education. We did mention the health sector and so many other sectors. At these community levels, what is your submission of the understanding of the leaders, from the leaders or the followers at the community level?
I would say it's very unfortunate that not all of our leaders actually understand what those at the grassroots levels are going through. I've had the opportunity to work in places that will make me to, let go of what we do presently, but I would rather work at the grassroots level, be there, understand what they're going through, know the kind of support and, intervention you are going to fight. You're more like advocating for them. Although we have leaders around, but it's time that Christians come out and not fold their hands, because we are called to be leaders. We are called to shine. You can be in a community as a leader, as a Christian, and things are not working out right, and you fold your hands and not be bothered. So it's a very difficult thing for me to do. So I'll rather mobilize friends and let's see how we do this together. I can't do it on my own. We call on everyone, use the social media to invite people. This is a challenge in a community, and we have to fix this thing together. So there's a lot happening at the grassroots levels, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people are disconnected. Even if you are up there, there's always that need. Have a listening here. Meet with these people. Have a time with them. I mean, understand what they go through. And
now, Tosin, with your understanding at the grassroots, engaging people at the grassroots, and in engaging community service. I once said on this program that Barack Obama started his political dream
at the grassroots.
At the grassroots. Well, maybe you have read a little about that, but let me just, because I read that in leadership school. I remember a particular time he was given a flyer out, handbill, just like you are going out for evangelism. And he was given flyer out, and a white man saw him. I said, black man, you are wasting your time. Do you think the white people will accept you? You will not be accepted. But he kept on with his vision. He kept on. He kept on. And he started through community service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, to my question, do you think that the government really understands what the people are passing through at the grassroots level? Do you think they really, going now from the federal to the states to the local governments, because you have been with these people, interfacing with them, of course, interacting with them, of course, the needs of all people cannot be met. It's God that can meet all needs. But primarily, crucial needs, core needs. Do you think governments at all levels are really touching, let's just even use the word, not meeting, but touching, the needs?
No. I'm sorry, no, they're not really touching the needs, because we have some communities where there are no government-owned schools, so it's very difficult for young people in that community to go to school. And we have some community where there are no primary health care center, functional primary health care center. And there was a time, before we started with our free school, and when we noticed that there were no, there was no accessibility to, affordable school in that community, we try to reach out certain, government officials. Eventually, I'm so sorry to say, we're disappointed, because some of the officials were trying to sell us over to another international community organization that we should forfeit our dream, our vision, and just hand over
run their own vision.
That is being run by a white man, that we should do. No, we said, no, we understand this community. They can't even afford private schools.
The need of the people.
They need help. We are fighting for them. If you bring an international organization, they're going to charge fee. And they came. They're charging fee. They can't afford.
They cannot afford.
So
the essence is...
We are like, these kids need accessibility to government-owned school. And when the case of Earth Care Center came up, we saw, we lost a child, a puppy, one of our puppy in school, and she just came with, oh, auntie, I have a headache. What happened? 7-year-old girl. And the first thing I asked them, because some of them don't eat to school. We have to feed them, we get food for them when we have the means. So I had to ask, have you eaten? She said no. So we got food for her. She slept in my office in the school. And before you know it, she went home, and some days later, she passed on. What happened? She died in the church. Because why? The parents couldn't afford, private health care. I was like, and these are the things going on the grassroots level. We went to the local government. We fought. That was when we had to partner with the Japanese embassy, that we need help. We've tried to reach out to those that we thought could be of help. And they're like less concerned. I'm sorry to say.
Now, let me cut into at this, apart from government now. Let's look at church. Rich individuals.
Because she made mention of that earlier.
We're on here now.
Yes.
And, at times it touches my heart. When I saw the story of this, what's the name of this girl? The story?
Success.
Success.
Yeah.
That went viral. For me, I posted something out, and it's like offending. I said, for instance, where are the Tony Elumelus of this world? Where are the and I'm on here now.
Yeah.
You see, we need to begin to ask questions of the rich people in the church. What has been your encounter? What has been your experience?
Yeah.
When you talk to them about community engagement, and they know you are doing something genuine, not because you want to get this money into your pocket.
Gain, yes.
I think there's a need for us to start addressing this in the churches. Let's church leaders know that it is also their duty
if I may,
to support.
with your permission, Doctor, have you approached the church before with this dream?
Yeah, that was during my NYC.
Now, church is something. let me come in.
That was during my NYC.
Let me come in. David, church is another thing. I don't want to mention the name of any church. But there are individuals in the church.
That could be
there are multi-millionaires in the church.
Yes, sir.
For them, giving 1 million is nothing. It doesn't even take care of
more
them.
than.
And imagine you're having that from 100 people.
Yes, sir.
What
supporting a great
do
cause.
is free to school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It will be amazing.
Yeah,
for
true.
people that are genuine, you can even monitor their progress. That's
true.
what white people will do.
Yes,
in such developed worlds like Singapore, like Canada, like Germany, like UK. And once they know these people are, they give to them. And then you see this multiplying all over.
All over.
So
exactly.
the rich people in the church is a challenge to them.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking your experience with the rich people in the church.
Please,
not just the church. You see, because the policy of the church may not even allow them to go.
Exactly.
We want to give
parts
500,000.
Yes,
exactly.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the question is, who are you? Where are you coming from? Then why don't you go to your own church and raise call for support?
Share with us some of these experiences.
The experience I had then was during NYC, that we tried to reach out to different churches around, and it was so difficult getting some of them part away with their, with their funding, which you actually understand. Some of them are looking at it from, this angle of they don't trust NGO. Who are you? What have you done? Yes. But yes.
Yes, go on.
Because that has been one of the challenges that most, NGOs have, and people are like, they just bring up funding, NGOs to raise money. They are not really doing any projects, maybe elephant project and all of that. But when we are approaching them, we go with a success story. That we are not just documented. We have pictures. You can visit. We have people coming to visit. Evidence. People saying, these are the children that are impacted at the end of the day. So you are not doing it for me. I'm only seeing myself as standing in the gap. Just trying to connect from those that have and those that don't have, and let these resources, go around. So what we try is a lot of work trying to convince people that don't know you. So that is why we are still thankful for friends and families and the wonderful individuals and organizations that have been with us for years and they are still supporting. But for those that don't know us, it's a lot of work trying to make them understand what you're doing and how many people have impacted.
I think we won't blame them absolutely, because some other people have turn good cause to scheme.
Exactly.
Trying to, we have fake NGOs, fake churches, fake individuals.
Exactly.
So this is the part of the world where we found ourselves.
Exactly.
Basically. Now, I want to ask this question. Looking at exemplary leadership.
Okay.
Now, this question may be tricky, but do you think Nigerians or followers in Nigeria regard the present government as exemplary? And what can make any leader of this nation exemplary, especially in the area of community service?
The leaders of this nation from the local government level.
Because you approached the Japanese official, leaving the Nigerian officials, and they came to your aid.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that.
Yes.
Please share with us.
Yeah, they came, they saw the need for intervention, and they got started.
Didn't they see the need for intervention? The people you approached, the Nigerian doctors.
Let me comment. Like, the issue with exemplary leadership in community service. At different levels.
Yes.
There are budgets.
Yes,
exactly.
Sir.
There are some political considerations.
Yes, sir.
So there must be that understanding.
Yes.
But that as it may, there are still, because they have budget, they have the interface also before having a budget. So for any government, having a part of it, unless they want for social service, and if at the time of approaching them already, they have already
exhausted whatever.
There may be little or nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
You see, but my main something now is with individuals. Is with individuals in the church. You see, because no, really.
If I may talk about that,
yes.
like the school we run had been in existence for a while, and the building, it's not too conducive for learning. And before we knew it, a member, somebody, a friend just came up and he visited the school and he saw how the children were learning. We have about 200 children. Yes, we even had to stop, admitting them because of the space. So, and the place was so hot. So he saw what they were going through.
Condition.
Yeah, the condition. And could you believe by February 28th, we got a quick notice that we should all move out of that place, that he was coming with his project team to rebuild the facility. And he came within 4 weeks. The whole place changed. Millions. He spent all of this, funding an individual.
This is good to
so
hear.
If we
you have 200 students there.
Yes.
And they are being fed.
Yes. We raise support for funding. Because
I believe all these are your websites.
Yes, we do, but although not everything.
You need
everything.
to. Remember the first time we met? I was doing my PhD that time, and that was 2010. And I said, one thing I said, you reminded me today, was that you should keep on, posting and keep on blogging, documenting.
Yeah.
You see, because someone X will read somewhere X and be touched, and once they know that your success story is authentic, they were ready, to partner with you and do something with you. Now. Going from that now, with all that you are able to see, community service, you are able to interface and see all this. Now, do you see yourself in future taking this further to participating in governance?
No, it's for now, no.
No, I'm saying
because
I'm saying in future. It's because you may want to do it because now you have met. There's
a lot of distractions.
You have met a lot of brick wall. Let me finish. You have met brick wall, and you wish, if I could make policy like this. I'm just thinking, and definitely I'll be able to accommodate. I just came back from my hometown. And I was sharing a story of myself when I was in the final year and looking for money to do my thesis and no money anywhere. And I went to somebody very rich in my community. And rather than, the person talk me down and my wife to be talk us down and didn't give us 1 naira. And I completed. And I discovered in that same town, I made a success. And the car she was riding at that time, people were celebrating and crying. Even before she died, I also bought that same car and I was riding that same car. You see, so that is you see that in an aspect. There's a way that some things will touch your heart, and you begin to look at that. Oh, if I'm in a position,
yes, sir.
Now, if anybody comes to me now about certain things that I passed through before, I used to think, I say, oh, even if you are asking 100 naira,
yes, sir.
I have 5 naira, I don't have 100. Please take.
Rather than to talk them down and turn them away.
Off. You see, so do you see yourself maybe in future?
In that position, for the sake of those.
Or if you are invited.
If I'm invited, fine, because we've even had the community trying to bring up chieftaincy title. I said, no, it's not about the title. There's still so much. There's a lot to be done. The needs are huge.
Chieftaincy title is a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap for you to spend even the money you don't even have. No, that's true. Yeah. Because you have a passion for something. But if it's engaging in leadership, something to serve.
The dream I have is we want to complement more of what the government is doing.
That's right.
We want to reach out to every locality.
Especially in meeting the Human Capital Development Index.
Yes, going to where those communities where accessibility to schools, it's poor. So we want to see how we can meet with these kids and let them have a haven where they can come and feel at home. Just the way we have in Ikola or Dunsi, we want to replicate this. That is the vision. So I'm looking
I
at...
want to ask now,
okay, sir.
If that is your vision, and Dr. rightly asked if you will be interested in any leadership position for the future, not for selfish gain.
Yeah, if God wills.
If God wills.
Yes,
but are you
now, no.
It's not
I have so much love and passion for this grassroots level because sometimes, not that if you're not there, the work doesn't go on, but sometimes when you are there, it brings a lot of things to perspective for you. You appreciate...
which is why I want to ask you this, Ma.
Okay.
You have passion for children.
Okay.
You have passion for education. Now, as this government, I don't want to even ask that, this government has made budget for that.
Yeah.
And for you to also partake in such budget so as to run at community level and impact these lives. That is, I think, one of the reasons Doctor has the question earlier on. So, what are other plans you have to be able to, maybe the government is not looking at your direction or looking at the direction of education, to turn the head of government and say, look at this direction. This is a need. Human capital development is a need. It's necessary for this nation. I mean, we have a lot of raw materials in human beings, in gifts. So what are your plans to draw and make government see more into this?
What we'll do, we'll keep advocating for, the need of every child to be in school. As we all know, it's no longer a breaking news that Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world, and that is about 11 million children. Wow. So the news is
how many are in school right now?
I don't have the statistics of how many we have in school, but for us to have 11 million, that is about 3-4 countries, a total population of some countries coming together. Yes, so the work is huge.
In straight to school. How many kids do you have in school now?
For now, we had to restrict to about 200. We have those that have passed out because we had those that we had to ensure the right common entrance.
Because
of the time.
Let me just say this.
Okay, sir.
Now, which of the, you have been involved in this straight to school since which
yes,
year?
we have different programs.
Since which year?
2009.
2009, okay.
Yes.
We met 2010. I
yes,
remember
sir.
I was still doing my PhD research at that time. Now, which of this success story of these children has really touched you? Which of the
one that touched me most is education sponsorship. Because aside education,
I'm just talking about an individual among the
children. Okay, one of them.
Going to university or
one of them. He was 9 years old when we met him, and we met him on the street. They live on the street, and eventually we fixed him in school. At 9, the school fixed him in nursery 2. Because he couldn't read and nor write, so it was even ABC he couldn't write. Eventually we fixed him. Christ. We paid. It was costly, but we paid everything. And it's been years of sponsorship now. Yeah. Nursery 2 till basic 5, he wrote common entrance, he went to second, he's in JSS2 now.
Wow.
And he has improved so well, tremendously, such that in JSS1 he had the overall best results.
Wow.
And he was awarded in school. He came to show me, and he was so proud of himself. I said, so any child can be great if given a chance, and that is why we do what we do.
Education is a leveler.
Yes, education library.
Oh my God!
It's library.
We have. It's so nice to have you on our show, and we hope to have you again, because this community service is some area we need to pay attention to. Viewers, thank you for your time. We're going to go on a short break now. When we return, of course, we'll be going into our discussion segment, where we'll be looking at the participation boundaries of followers in governance. And it's been expository. Ms. Tosin Taiwo in the house, founder of Street to School. God bless you, Ma, for coming and having you on the show. We'll be right back. Please don't change your channel and don't go anywhere.
A good representation of the interest, the characteristics of the qualified, the demands and responsibilities of the enlightened, the level playing ground. Be tough. Follow the conversation on Dove Television every Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. Nigerian time. Available on Channel 83 on GoTV, Channel 349 on DSTV, Channel 464 on Star Times, and also available on other platforms. Be enlightened, be emboldened, be empowered.
All right, you're welcome to our last, and of course, the second segment on the show, The Turf. If you're just tuning in, yes, you are on to The Turf, your Christian political talk show, where you get enlightenment about happenings in government, and of course, if and how you can align your calling, and of course, with political endeavors. On this segment is our discussion segment. Of course, we're going to be dissecting this segment with our in-house analyst, Dr. J.M. Ekundayo, who is right seated here, and of course, our guests, who we have brought, and also will be giving us his perspective to our subject of discussion on this segment. What are we going to be looking at on this segment? We are going to be looking at participation boundaries of followers in governance. Participation boundaries. To what extent can you and I participate in the affairs of the government that will not translate to interference or overreaching? And some of the other questions we're going to be asking. And this my editor, this my guest is also an editor of the Church Times newspaper. I'm talking about no other than Mr. Gbenga Oshineke. Mr. Gbenga Oshineke, you're welcome.
Thank you.
To the Turf, sir. Nice to have you on the program.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir. Welcome. So, please, tell us more about yourself and about Church Times, the contents, when it started, and many other
my name is Gbenga Oshineke, as you said earlier. We've been on for 12 years now. Church Times started 2007, around May.
Okay.
So it'll be 12 years by May this year. The vision is to look at the church and report from a broader perspective. Look at politics, look at education, look at
every
leadership, business, and report from a Christian. It's a monthly.
Okay.
We actually started as a quarterly, but now a monthly.
So for these 10 years that you've been the publisher, you've been the editor-in-chief?
I'm the publisher, the editor-in-chief of the publication.
So the circulation is beyond the church, is it, or just within the church?
Well, beyond the church, because people who are not church people also buy into it.
Okay.
You know, we cut across, because the kind of stories we report are not limited to the four walls of the church.
Of the church. All right, we are going to the subject of discussion. We are looking at participation boundaries for of followers in governance. I think I'm going to leave Doctor to that honors.
Now, followers' involvement in governance is one area that in Nigeria, where we are coming up with a by the outcome of the last elections, we could see some reflexes of followers. See, but in your own thinking, what will you say about followers? Are we really coming up in Nigeria? Are we really coming up, participating in governance, doing our normal roles, our responsibilities as expected?
Well, let me first say that it's a very good topic that we are discussing, because followership is a germane to leadership. Without
of course,
the right kind of followers, will just be dancing around the issues. Now, given the last election, I think that there is growing awareness. People are getting more aware. But then we need to also understand the follower psychology in Nigeria. I was just thinking, and I said, well, there are two types of followers. We have the informed followers and the uninformed. And within the informed, we have people who are following for altruistic reasons. Those who are following because they are family members in government. Those who are following because they're just, it's a bandwagon thing. You know, and there are people that are uninformed, they're just there, they don't care. You know, so whenever anything happens, they jump on it and they take decisions without information. So, but looking at the way Nigerians are participating is growing. The dimension now is the issue. I mean, where are they informed? Are they enlightened? Do they have enough information to act with? So those are the issues I think we should be dissecting. You know, there's no doubt that the followership is getting more aware. But how are they being? I mean, what kind of awareness?
What is it forming?
Yeah, what kind of awareness do we have? You know, in the polity? That's an issue that I think should bother everybody.
Now, when you look at the last election, 2019 election, it's come and gone. Compared with 2015 election, and the followers' participation in that election, because we are talking about the leadership process now. So participating in election is part of it. What will you say? Will you say that 2019 fare better the participation of followers than 2015?
I think 2015 was more intense.
How?
I mean, it was more intense.
Some people have contrary opinion.
No, I think 2015 was more intense in the sense that I mean, the awareness was like people were just busting out. You know, there was a kind of, you know, an awareness among people that we need to get, especially given the background of what happened in the government of the ex-president. There was this growing need to just push out that government. And it was really intense. But 2019, fine, people, but then the apathy, you know, there had been a build-up of apathy over the years, and people feel, well, these people, we elected them in, you know, disappointments here and there. You know,
don't you think that could fuel followers, you know, because if you look participation more?
If you look at the number of people who came out to vote, you know, compared to the population, I mean, we won't expect that.
Let's compare numbers exactly between 2015 and 2019.
In fact, there are some areas where you had lesser people voting, and I think that it shouldn't be so. I mean, 4 years down the line, there will have been increase in population.
But in general, I think comparing the numbers, comparing the years, 2019 is much more than 2000. Doesn't that speak volume?
You know, I mean, except we are working with fake figures now from INEC or whatever.
Okay.
But if you look at what INEC, the figures coming out from INEC, the difference is like we are having a repeat of the same number, just slightly different.
Slightly.
Compared to the population of those who voted in 2015. I don't know whether you observed that.
For me, I observed something different.
I would have thought that it would have been more.
Well, let's leave that because we'll be digressing from the topic.
You wanted to point out what the difference from his opinion. Where I was looking to hear that.
Because for me, I see more awareness of followers in 2019 than 2015.
Awareness is more, but the participation is
okay.
Awareness, fine. Participation, well, it depends on the context where
we are looking at. Okay.
When you look at the South, I once said it on this program, especially Southwest, many of us were really, I don't know, we didn't go to the poll. But when you compare, you can't compare that with the Northwest. Or the Northeast. Notice that we are facing challenges.
There are issues with the Northeast and the Northwest.
No, they even
in terms of people, you know, like for instance, Borno, there was insurgency. The governor could not even vote or whatever. I mean, but yet they had high turnout.
No.
So you ask yourself.
No, if you look at that, I believe that's not fair. Because in a state like Kaduna, Kaduna too had a skirmish of this thing. Their governor was out. I once said it on this program for 3 hours at his polling booth till he made sure that everything was right and he voted.
But what do you make of Boko Haram? I mean,
forget, but that is our problem in the South. We tend to look at oh, there's a lion in the street.
Okay,
and
that
that was
people
what,
will not
and that was what accounted for the low turnout, especially in the presidential election. In a state like Lagos, for instance, where you have 5 million. Do you want to say that 5 million people did not collect the PVC in Lagos? Or they are just shadow of people? They are the human base. You see, but at a certain time, we are analysts. We are angry against ourselves on WhatsApp
and on Facebook,
and then when you follow, I'm saying seriously, follow Kano, follow Kaduna during election days and see queues like from here to the express.
You're right.
From where we are to the express.
Yeah.
Whereas in Lagos and all that, this thing, some people are sitting at home and eating eba, eating amala, and some people so you still find out that, to me, my perception is, I may be wrong, the political awareness of followers in the north, it's more
stronger
than the south.
And when I have to say the participation in the north is better than. We are a lot of people are aware down south, but they are not
participating. Participation in governance of followers in the north is more than people,
but they are not informed
in this. No, I disagree. Informed. No, explain to us what you mean by not informed.
Because there is a bandwagon in the north, for instance.
What do you mean by being informed?
When I say informed, I'm talking
politically
about
now,
having indices on their fingertips, having understanding of what governance means. Because in the north, their religion is intertwined with politics. So somebody gets, if somebody is contesting, for instance, and is the whatever the imam says.
Of course.
Now, okay, I will put it to the spot on that. The two presidential candidates, the two major presidential candidates, are Muslims,
of course,
and they are from the north. So what do you make of that?
No, I mean, I was saying the same thing. The person who is endorsed by the leader, the church leadership, I mean, the Islamic leadership or whatever, will probably get more votes.
I don't believe that. You see, let me just say
and
this.
And there are cultic followership too.
Now,
in the north,
leadership process is about influence.
Yeah.
Leadership is influence. Now, if I can influence you, I'm a leader. Whether it
negatively or positively?
Yes, that's why you have the bad side of leadership. You see, whether like Adolf Hitler influenced a lot of people, a lot of Germans, and he was a follower. But he started as a follower to becoming a leader. So if I can influence a set of people to do my bidding, I'm a leader. You see, so whether I use my religion, whether I use my money, whether I use my whatever it is, my connections.
The morality is put to question.
So when you now say that they are not informed,
maybe I'm being judgmental.
No, you know what, Mr. Oshinake, let me say this. That is our undoing in the south.
Okay.
I once lived with the people in the north. I did my service there in former Gongola state, now Adamawa state. And I work there. You see, and I discovered that most of us in the south, because we have degrees, I have PhD, I have masters, I have BS. Where are you? See somebody in the north may not even have, but let me tell you, political education that they have there is more than even the PhD over here in the south.
Well, I think you've made a point.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
They know what it means to carry a PVC.
I'm just looking at it from maybe the bookish perspective.
Yes. Availability of information to the followers to make their decisions.
Exactly, because I can't reconcile the high level poverty in the north with their political awareness. I can't reconcile it. I can't reconcile the poverty, the fact that people are still, because if they are well informed, they should readily vote for somebody that can transform their lives, but nothing is happening there.
Anyways, I mean, moving because of our time, to move on to the next.
That's a perspective.
We will try and have this discussion again to do justice to different perspective and reach a balance. Now, still looking at the topic subject we're talking about. Now, when do we say that followers' participation translates to interference or overreaching?
Well, I don't think there should be any time. I mean, there should be a boundary, really, because if you're going to put a limit or a lead to that, then we have the
basically we have human rights, right of expression. The fact that I have right of expression, right to vote, there are some other rules that guide my right.
Well, let me just come in. David.
Yes,
when leaders are in position, they believe that they should be given the opportunity to govern.
Yeah. Yes.
By not, coming up with, oh, do this, do that, do this, do this. But leaders have to understand. I want to agree also with my brother, Shinaki, that there shouldn't be any kind of interference. You see, because in the first instance, followers put you there as leaders. So you listen to them. Listen to them does not mean you are doing everything they say. You cannot, because you are not even God. Even God will not even do everything that human beings say.
You are just probably 0.000%.
Even God Almighty will not do everything that all human beings are saying. You see, but what is it that you promise? Address those things so they can remind you. So that's not interference. Your Excellency, you promise us this. Senator, you said your constituency project will be water for our community, and it's 1 year down the line. We have not even seen anyone borehole. So you are not interfering. You are only saying.
Except that you are looking at the perspective. I mean, the issue maybe going violent, for instance, which nobody will support here. That the followers can
peaceful demonstration is what is allowed.
Exactly, peaceful demonstration.
But when that is one. I remember the story, Doctor, about a man, I don't know how true this is, who insulted a leader in the country, I don't want to mention, and he was punished for it. Does it mean in this part of our world, you can insult a leader and get away with it? Is that not a boundary?
Well, people have been getting away with insulting leaders in Nigeria, for instance. I mean, that has been on for years. Though there have been checks.
It's not something to be promoted.
Exactly.
It's not something that cherished. Normally, like we are Christians, and in the Bible, we are to.
Of course.
You see, I remember Paul was brought before a council, and and he was saying a word against the chief priest, but he didn't know it was the chief priest because of the way that chief priest also presented himself. You see, and he uttered a word. And they say, oh, you are saying something against God's high priest? He said, brethren, I do not know that he's a high priest. So it's like I withdraw that statement, So really, but the thing is, we are supposed to reference our leaders.
Yes, sir.
But we can engage them.
Exactly.
Intelligently.
Yes, we can intelligently, in a civil way.
You
can write a letter of protest, for instance. You can write a letter of appeal, for instance, But by and large, as we are talking about these boundaries, let me say that many of our leaders have not made themselves accessible. And I'm on here now, and it is very important, especially those who are Christians serving, whether in the House of Assembly, or you are just elected now into the House of Assembly, or into the House of Rep, or into the Senate, or as a governor. Make yourself available, accessible, accessible. Via email, via SMS or whatever, or WhatsApp, through your aides.
Of course.
It may not be through you directly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And let them get these things across to you. The feeling of people at certain region, at certain local government, you see, and some other ones that surprisingly, you just show up at their community.
Yes, sir.
And say, oh, I've heard this about this thing, and I want to address it. Even for you showing up there, you may not even do it that year. And you say, well, it's not in the budget this year, but I'm considering it next year. We make them feel important. So followers are not really.
They shouldn't be dominant.
They shouldn't. I don't think they are prognosing too much into government. They are part of.
I want to take you on a case. I think we have 2 or 3 instances where some people were locked away by some of the leaders of the countries that we know. We don't want to mention names on here now. Are you saying expressly that there is a right of expression without intimidation in this part of the world?
Well, I would say to an extent, yes. If you are not, when you mention boundary, you are not abusing. You are not saying something that can be considered something outside the Constitution. Defamatory
to the
or
government.
slander or libel or something that you say, can charge you for felony or charge you for one thing under the legal terms.
Of course.
You are still saying something
within the what
you
the
can
law
be
is
engaged.
permissible.
Yes, you can be engaged. You can, because it is high time we begin to see some exemplary, courageous followers.
Yes, sir.
Who will speak truth to power.
Yes, sir.
Who will speak truth to power. Like that. I'm one of such followers. You speak truth to power at a certain time. I've ever written this thing, like that, and people are saying, I remember when I was in my secondary school, and I wanted something to be done, for those of my classmates now hearing me or watching me. I want something to be done, and principals of those days, they are very tough, and they are just governors of their school. And I look at, how could I do this? And I wrote a beautiful letter, and I talking when nobody was watching me, under the door of the principal. And the principal read it, and there was an assembly. And they said, one of you wrote this and that, who could be this, who could be that? And I make sure I change my writing, so that no teacher will ever get that. But you know what? It was because I was complaining about a chemistry teacher who happened to be an NYC and did not know that science subject very well to teach us. And we were just starting. So there's we will fail. So at the end of the day, the teacher was changed, and a better teacher was given to us.
Hallelujah.
So a follower, you can raise up your voice. Don't say it won't matter. I have done that many times, and I've seen it working. I've seen it working.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Gbenga, let me in your opinion, do you think Nigeria followers are fully engaged compared to other nations?
Well, I think there's a disconnect between the leadership and the followership. There's a disconnect. There's no feedback mechanism. I think Obasanjo tried when he was there. He had this monthly, was it a weekly radio program? No, monthly radio program that he had interactions.
Yes,
even people asked questions.
I think the president of Russia does this too.
Now, let me say also that in Lagos State, for instance, during this present outgoing government of Governor Akeumi Ambode, there were town hall meetings, and I have been privileged to be in 3 or 4 of such town hall meetings. No host bear, no predetermined, you will not ask questions. These are the people that will ask questions. And yes, and I've seen people asking questions about job, about employment, about this, about that in our community. And then some will now come to the next town hall meeting and say, thank you, Mr. Governor. We were in Alimo show. You promised us this. We have done it to help us thank him.
Wow.
So you can see. So really, that is opening up feedback. Our governors, even the House of Assembly member, House of Rep, they should have constituency office that are functional, where they can meet their constituency members. You see, but what we have in Nigeria is that because, I won election. And because I've won election, after winning election, I spend money. So nobody should trouble me again. No, there's nobody there. Followers can ask you, what is the constituency project we have here? In fact, they can come to you that we have, please help us, school fees of our children. Yes, they have. It's there. Whatever you can do, you do it. It's not compulsory, it's not obligation, but at least they should have access to you.
Yes, sir.
I think the Obasanjo option too is quite germane. Media chat, regular media chat. Go on air, on radio, on TV. Let people call in and ask questions. Obasanjo he did that throughout his regime, and I think that was quite commendable.
I mean, during the time.
When he was president.
What do we have now as a feedback mechanism?
I can't.
Doctor, anything else?
I can't.
We can improve on that because really there's a lacuna between the followers and the leaders. There's a lacuna, and there is a need to begin to filter followers' aspirations, followers' demands, followers' yearnings, longings. You see, because the mistake we make on this side of the world, I mean, this continent of Africa, and why we fail is that we look at followers as we leaders can think for them. Whereas there are some things that, they are the one that will say, oh, you have forgotten this. So even in some places, they don't need school. What they need is a center. They don't need school, and you are building school for them. Some places they are saying our priority is not road now. Yes, sir. This road is okay, leave it. What we want is school. Because our children, they are trekking about 4 kilometers to school. Give us school here. Some are saying water, they need water. Because where they are fetching water, the water is muddy. It's only cow that can be drinking. They are even struggling with cow in such communities. They need water. So, first of all, you look at that. So these are some of the things that when you interface with the followers, yes, sir, we will be able to really address their needs. And then, through that, such leader will be admired by followers.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Gbenga, now followers are all over the place watching us right now. Now, we've been talking about participation boundaries, and me and you, Doctor, we're all followers. What do we do in our small ways now as followers to be better followers?
Well, I like to refer to, like this healers, wailers dichotomy that the media, the special advisor to the president, Mr. Additional, introduced, that there are wailers, there are healers. I think there should be more of wailing and healing. There should be a balance between the two. Let people wail if there are issues. Let them talk. Yes. Let them express their minds. Let them go on Facebook and write. Yes. Let them go on Twitter and tweet. Let them talk. I mean, it's a free world. As far as they are not being violent, they are within the moral boundary
of the law. Yes, of course.
Now, so the followers should keep talking and should keep writing. And
in fact, for me, there is no wailer. No, I'm a followership scholar. I'm a followership scholar. You see, those people that are wailing, look at why they are wailing. It's true. Yeah. You see, some of them, they are just rebel rosas. Filter that off. But some of them are wailing because of genuine concerns. So government should even spring a surprise. By the time you see 10 people, 20 people, 50 people on that same point, in that same locality, willing. Let the government surprise them by sending the minister to visit there, assess the situation there, and then you begin to do something. Then we know we have a listening government. People will begin to, the government is listening. Yes. People are listening to our agitation, our yearning. And then that is governance. Is it because followers perception, followers yearnings, followers longing is part of governance. And our leaders must begin to see this. Whether you are in the House of Assembly, whether you are in the House of Rep, whether you are in the Senate, you have people that put you there. You need to go back 3 months, 6 months, meet them there and say, how am I faring? Let them speak. Don't even gauge them. All these people, hey, honorable, they are your enemies. Because the next 4 years, you are coming back to them, they will say, well, I never know you.
Meanwhile, they've been feeding him and saying, the people are okay, we are doing well.
So that's my
unfortunately, because of our time, we'll not be able to go further than this. I want to say a very big thank you, Mr. Gwenga, for being part of our discussion segment on this edition of The Turf. And of course, to our analysts and of course, specialists in leadership studies, thank you for being here too.
Thank you, David.
And to all our esteemed viewers, thank you very, very much for making our time to be part of this show. We appreciate you and we value your feedback and your contributions. So please keep sending them in. The addresses are here on social media. Facebook is The Turf Show, Twitter, The Turf Show, Instagram, The Turf Show, and of course, the only thing that changes is the email, which is thetufteam2019@gmail.com. You can send your inquiries, your contributions, and whatever it is you're trying to point out to us. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of The Turf. I hope you had a very wonderful Easter last week. Yes, of course, it's a beautiful week again. And I'm saying a very big thank you for all of us who have been part of this show. And we're going to be drawing the curtain here. Next week, by the special grace of God, same time, same station, we're going to be bringing more topics, enlightening us about governance and, of course, involvement of you and I and our roles and responsibility at different levels on this. My name is David Ayodeji Kasale, and of course, I'm most privileged to be a host on this show. Until I see you again next week by the special grace of Almighty God, I'm saying God bless you and bye-bye for now.